Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us. We got a full house today, as you can tell. We're all here. We are ready for a fun and lively discussion. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show, hosted by Mike Overson, Luminate Bank, Scott Wolmering. I'm Ryan O'Neill with the Minnesota Real Estate Team, Remax Advantage Plus. Steve Stalock's in studio today, Win Home Inspection. Charlie Dufour also in studio today with Luminate. Scott, we got a lot to talk about, bud.
Yeah, we do. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're here every Saturday from 10 o'clock to 11. Live show. Love your calls, 612-294-6949. Or if you're watching this on social media, you can just type in your questions and we will handle it. And that is kind of what makes the show fun. So we love your questions.
Mike, good to see you. You got a fresh haircut too, Mike.
I did.
It looks
Yes,
good.
thanks,
You look
Ryan.
good, buddy.
Appreciate it.
You
Really
look-
appreciate it, Ryan.
On the camera, what do you got for us today, bud?
Well, I don't have exciting news as far as interest rates go. It's pretty boring. They stayed the same. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when the show starts live here. But you know what? Sometimes boring is good though. I'd rather have it boring and just steady Eddie versus the ups and the downs. So
And Steve, we got Steve Stalock to take an hour-long break from inspecting homes and going on roofs and going into basements. And Steve, you are, we should start calling you the hardest working inspector, I think. You are always going.
You were the T-bomb, maybe. I needed
Yeah, right.
That's right, the T-Bob.
Yeah, that's going back a while.
the Aaron Rodgers, no,
Tom Brady.
Yeah,
No,
who
the
is it
Tom
now? Well, no, we no longer have the Brady. We used to call Mike the Tom Brady of mortgage. But now with no Brady, Scott,
No.
you know the football.
the Messi. We could call you the Messi.
Messy. Yes.
Yeah, here we
The
go. We're
Messi
going.
of inspectors.
Yeah, it's soccer time, Charlie. It's soccer.
There you
Charlie's
go.
a soccer player.
Big soccer player.
Hey, we're going live on air. Good morning. Thanks for all the nice comments wherever you're catching us on social media. Thank you. We appreciate it. Again, we're going live on WCCO here right now. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thank you for joining us. Hope your weekend's starting off well. July 18th, 2026. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show live here at WCCO, and it's hosted by Mike Overson with Luminate Bank, a local bank right here in the Twin Cities. And then, of course, Mr. Scott Wolmering himself, and I'm Ryan O'Neill. We're with the Minnesota Real Estate Team and Remax Advantage Plus. Scott, good morning to you, buddy. Nice to see you, young man.
It is good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're going to get into some real estate stuff like we always do. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us. I'd like to say before we start the show, happy birthday to my my ex-wife Jen, my roommate Jen, and she is I won't tell what she's turning today, but it is her birthday, so we're going to celebrate that. So happy birthday, Jenny.
Happy 40th to my friend Jen.
Yes,
We love
holding
Jen.
strong at 40.
Yeah, we love Jen, and originally from Texas, and I love her zip. She's not only a kind soul, but she's got a lot of good zip, Scott. I like that about her.
That would be a good way to define it. Yeah, a little zip.
Hey, Mike, good to see you, buddy. What's cooking? Mortgage update. A lot going on in the world. Always great to have you with us here, of course.
Yeah, mortgage wise, I was talking about before the show. It's been pretty boring here. For the last few months, we've been riding a wave between 6 and 6.5, and it was steady Eddie this week again. So most of the loans I was locking this week, 6.375, 6.5, a couple VAs at 5.99, so you can still get into the high fives there on a VA loan. But we're riding that steady interest rate wave, 6 to 6.5, basically all year so far. It's been in that range, and it's probably going to stay there.
Yeah, it's boring and it's frustrating because for people out there that would like to see these drop, we talk about the kind of the last little ace in the hole that we think possibly could happen closer to the midterm elections is Donald Trump has $200 billion worth of mortgage-backed security money to buy, and if he buys the mortgage-backed securities, then that will drive interest rates down for a period of time. It's not organic, so it's being driven by him actually doing that. So it's nothing that will sustain itself, but I think we should have a little short run if that occurs.
Yep. Which means if you fast forward, if that does happen this fall, we were talking last week of how we're going to have a spring market in the fall and
yeah.
winter, right? So if you're a buyer out there, right, now is your time, and now's your opportunity, because inventory's up a little bit. You can offer probably under list price for a lot of listings out there right now. Maybe you can get the seller to pay some of your closing costs, things like that. If this fall turns out to be what we think it's going to be this fall, all of that goes away.
Yeah, well, that's the point. People say, well, why wouldn't I wait till the interest rates drop to buy? And the problem is, like Mike's alluding to, prices are going to go up. So right now, you can get a really good value out there. I mean, we're going to go through the numbers here in a second, but there's good values out there. And so jump on it now, refinance later.
Real estate update, new listings up 5.3% this past week in the Twin Cities. 1,134 new homes, new properties came on the market. Pending sales up about 2% year over year. There were 952 pendings, and the inventory is up 8% year over year, 11,203. And the other question we had earlier in the week was about days on market. Days on market is up 2.3%. Average right now is 45 days on market. Getting a little more balanced out there, Scott. That's what we've been saying. The market's balancing out a little bit.
Yep, it is definitely a balanced market. This is going to be our 9th week in a row where we are not eclipsing the new listings. So if you listen to the show for the last 15 years, every week our pendings were eclipsing our new listings. So 1,000 new listings would come on, we'd have 1,500 pendings. Now it's reversal. This is 9 weeks in a row where we have, what was the number? I think we're adding 200.
200, yeah.
Yeah, we're adding about 200 homes to the market, 500 homes last week, 600 homes the week before, and that's been consistent. So that has driven us into a balanced market, equal amount of buyers, equal amount of sellers, pocket areas that are still hot, other areas that are a little depressed. That's what a balanced market means.
Yeah, again, 612-294-6949 is how you can join us. Really, at any point throughout the show with questions, comments, thoughts. We're excited. We've got our friend Candace in studio here helping us. Grateful. Thank you for being here, Candace. Thank you for putting up with us. Before the break, I did want to touch on just a featured listing. Nick Jenkins has one, Scott, in Minneapolis, right in Minneapolis, 645 North First Street. Unit number 300. It's listed for $295. It's got a newly remodeled kitchen and bathroom. It's a great location, just one block off Washington. It's a move-in ready condo with a porch, built in the year 2000, newer building in the warehouse district, low maintenance living. Again, 645 North First Street, number 300 in Minneapolis here, $295,000. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Hey, thanks for joining us on social media. We got a full house, guys.
Yeah.
Charlie, we didn't get the memo for the black shirt.
I mean,
No.
yes.
I guess.
The black
You know,
shirts.
Charlie's got a bright personality, though. He can't wait to be wearing a black shirt.
No,
Very
no,
true.
No,
You know what I mean?
It would be weird.
Very true.
It would be weird.
It would be weird. Steve, what do you think? You are getting a break off this. You never take a break.
Yeah, I wanted today to be a day off, and because I'm trying to get out on a vacation, I still have to pack and organize. And then one of my best friends said, "Hey, Steve, do you have time? I'm buying a house." So he's been in his current house for almost 40 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I'm available Saturday.
Oh, no.
So I'm working today.
So much for your vacation.
Well, it'll be a little kind of a rush start. I hope I can get organized in just a few hours.
Scott, you need to take a vacation, dude. You've been working too much. Last couple of years, that's all you've been doing.
Yeah, I haven't been on very many vacations, but yeah.
Well, you were on the team trips. You went
Yes,
on the
that's
team
right,
trips.
right.
That's a
we can do that.
vacation.
That is a vacation. Those
Yeah.
are nice vacations.
We got to bring the Luminate guys with us. That'd be fun.
Great
Yeah.
idea.
Come on, Mike.
I don't want
I'm
Mike.
there.
I don't want Mike laying next to me on the beach without his shirt on.
That's all right. I'll be there too.
Okay, well that's right. We'll put you in the middle. That'll balance.
That'll
balance.
That's
it
why
out.
people feel good on the team trip, is because I'm there. So they look at me and they feel better laying at the pool.
So years ago, before I had moved over onto Ryan's team, I would give $100 bounty to anybody on the trip that would give me a picture of Ryan with his shirt off.
Here we go.
It's like a unicorn. No one's ever seen it.
Pasty.
Hey, welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thank you for joining us. Hope your weekend's going well. July the 18th. Stay cool. We're especially thinking of everybody's got to be, it's working outside during this week, Scott. You think about that. You know what I mean? You're working outside. It's one thing to have to go outside for a few minutes, but you're working outside. Just talking to a buddy who's spent all week, this past week, working outside.
Well, and I'll tell you what is interesting for those of us that don't work or do any manual labor at all. When you watch these guys work outside, they always wear long shirts because it keeps your sweat on your body so you don't get so dehydrated. When you go to Houston, you always notice that. I'm like, why is everybody in hats and long sleeves? And that's the reason you have to do it.
Yeah, very true, Mike.
I started doing that just last year, wearing those fishing shirts,
Oh,
long sleeve hoods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
In the
go out.
office?
Not in the office, outside when I was outside working, doing yard work and whatever, right? And it's amazing. You actually do feel cooler once you kind of get some sweat going and stuff. You actually feel cooler in those versus having like your shirt off.
You know, that's an interesting thing. Ryan, have you ever done yard work?
Oh, I have.
No, you have not.
I actually love yard work. I
Really?
really love outdoor stuff.
I cannot physically see you out doing yard work.
We were just joking a little bit. We do it every year. The Minnesota Real Estate Team does a fun top producer team trip. We take the agent and the spouse guest on a trip. Last year, there were 50 of us. So they got the agent has to qualify. And then we, the team, we pay for the trip, kind of a fun thing. Well, anyway, everyone always likes to make fun of my Irishness. And they feel better when I'm sitting at the pool. And then they feel comfortable. They can come out as well. They don't feel as self-conscious, Scott.
Well, you have Irish skin when you lay at the pool and other people bring you umbrellas. So like when Ryan's, people are coming over. Are you okay? Here's an umbrella. Here's 400 sunscreen. You'll be fine.
Oh yes, it is. It is. It is. Hey Scott, you know what time it is?
It is time for the O'Neill. What do I always screw it up? The O'Neill Minute of Hope.
The Minute of Hope.
Minute of Hope.
O'Neill Foundation of Hope. Minute of Hope. This week we met a hardworking mom of 2 young children facing eviction. She's had a lot of difficult things happen. Lost a loved one who was like a father to her. She underwent some surgeries, suffered another injury, delayed her ability to work. Disability, waiting for disability benefits to begin. Her income stopped, but the rent continued. Thanks to you, our donors, we were able to help her avoid eviction. She's got 2 wonderful children. Met her yesterday for a coffee, gave her a big hug, just a sweetheart of a gal. And so each week, the O'Neill Foundation of Hope does our best to help local families and individuals who are struggling, experiencing unexpected hardships. Thank you for your kind support. It's o'neillhope.org. Scott, we got to bring you to one of those meetings.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I actually, I think what you're doing is incredible. I watch it from afar, but you guys are out there busy. I mean, three to 4 families a week. That's a clip. Hey, you had a text question that came in that said, what do you think is one of the most misunderstood areas of real estate?
One of the most misunderstood
areas of real estate.
Mike, what do you think, bud? Most misunderstood from your, come on, you're a quick thinker on your feet.
I mean, it's more on the loan side of things, but one of the most misunderstood things right now is why is condo financing the way it is?
I was just what popped into my mind. What popped into my mind is similar. I would say the most misunderstood thing is classification of homes. So, for example, I had an agent on the team that was doing a market on a twin home. So she said, I'm doing a market on a twin home. So I said, well, when you say twin home, what are you referring to? She said, well, it's a twin home. I said, are you saying the physical body has 2 properties next to each other attached? Yes. I said, well, that's not necessarily a twin home. Twin homes don't have associations. Each owner owns each side. So what this ended up being was actually it's a duplex because the owner owns the entire building and owns both sides. That I think comes up, and also what you're saying, condo versus townhome. Most people, when they think condo, they think an apartment style living.
Building, yes.
That is not a condo. That could still be a townhome. The same way a freestanding townhome could be a condo based on what the association does.
Yeah, I actually just ran into this. One of my clients was looking at a quote unquote duplex, side by side duplex, And when I looked into it, and it was listed as a duplex, agent put it on as a duplex, all that stuff. But when I looked into it, it was 2 single condos connected to each other. So they
Wow.
had separate PIDs. There's an association. It was legally defined as condos, 2
Yeah.
separate condos. They said, hey, if you want to buy this, it's 2 separate transactions,
Yep.
not one duplex transaction.
I would just say, just real briefly, two very misunderstood things are you can always just price your home high and then reduce it. That is, I think, one big error a lot of times people make. The other one, again, not just because we are, real estate agents or brokers, I think trying to go it alone is also a big misunderstanding. Hey, I'm going to save money. And we've just seen over 25 years, a lot of situations where people don't have agents involved. They either overspend for the property. There's all sorts of transactional issues with it, Scott. A lot of things like that.
Yeah, I would say those would be right up there. For sale by owners, statistically, I forgot it. It's a big number. It's like 10 or 12% below what you would get as far as net money, what you would do if you went with a real estate agent. That's hard for people to understand. Overpricing is the biggest mistake people make, and it costs them the most money. That's the part that people don't understand. It's not just that you overprice it and you end up having to reduce. What you end up getting at the end of all these reductions is so much less than if you put it fairly at the beginning, because every buyer is like, why isn't this selling? Why is this selling? I don't want to be the first one to buy it because nobody's buying it. Well, you would say, well, I reduced it 25 grand. Oh, well, I don't know. There's got to be something else, because why wouldn't someone just write an offer? In Minnesota, we don't write really low offers.
Hey, Mike, one thing too, there was a couple weeks ago, I thought, and Scott, you mentioned it real briefly at the end of our show last week. We had a caller a few weeks ago who had just commented, said, hey, you guys, kind of stop with all the talk about cabins and luxury homes on Minnetonka, and, what about the rest of the world? And, we as a team, the Minnesota real estate team, every year we if I look at our transactions, we literally help, you'd be amazed with price points, $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, really all across the state of Minnesota. And so certainly, we had an agent on the team who just closed one that was 2.8 million. But most of what we do is just for a normal family, that's listening.
Well, think about it. The average list price,
400 maybe.
Yeah, so call it 384, 400. So that's the average list price. So trust me, I do what would be considered by most a lot of upper bracket properties. Still a fraction of the business I do. I mean, out of an entire year, there may be 2 really upper bracket properties. The rest are meat and potato sales, which, as a real estate agent, helps us keep the lights on. So, I mean, if you were just to say, I'm only going to do million plus properties, you're going to be a very hungry real estate agent, because there's just not that many out there.
Yeah, it is. And again, so just know wherever type of property you have or location, we literally work with everyone, and especially, hopefully, you can kind of get the feel from our show. Our heart is to help everybody, regardless of whatever price point you have. Mike, the same way you do with your loans. Every year we kind of talk about, you've had a lot of very small loans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing a $89,000 condo, I think, right now in Burnsville. And even at the, I go back to the team, the year-end team party that you have, Ryan. There's an award for the biggest sale of the year
And the lowest.
and the littlest sale of the year. So you have an award for both there, and it just shows that we want to help everyone that's out there.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I mean, I know every agent on the team. I can literally say this with full confidence. Whether you are selling a $2 million house or a $200,000 house, you are treated the same way, with the same intensity and the same. It really is. It doesn't really matter to most agents whether it happens to be a really expensive property or low. You still put your full effort towards. Hey, Ryan, we had a text-in question.
Yeah.
What are the top considerations when looking for rental investments?
Yeah, top considerations for rental investments. I would say, obviously location is critical. I am a big believer in kind of buying and holding. And so there's no real sort of quick money when you're investing in real estate. I've done a fair number of fix and flips, and we help people with that. Even in this current market, there are some situations where you can do that. But for most people, it's, finding a good location, rentability, what is the rent you can get on that? Will it cash flow? again, you always talk about throwing a dart and just buying something.
Go buy-
Mike,
go buy
what
a
do you
house.
think as you think about it? Other rental considerations?
Yeah, I mean, you just want to be in an area that people want to be in, right? So rentability is a huge thing. I mean, typically right now, I mean, like Scott's theory is you could pretty much throw a dart probably anywhere in Twin Cities and have a strong enough rental market where you're going to find a renter. You know what I mean?
Well, and we've talked about on the show for the last 5 years. God, do all these apartments really know what they're doing? Why would they build all these apartments? Are they going to be able to keep them full? And I believe that they saw this market coming. Affordability is really, really tough. First-time home buyer used to be 24 years old. Now it's 38 years old. And all of this creates people that unfortunately cannot get into the real estate market right now. And so they go rent, even if it's $3,000 a month. Even though that's a big nut to do, they can at least make that payment where they can't really qualify, for another house.
Just before the break, I was talking to a friend this morning they've got a 25-year-old who's moving back in with them to save some money to try and buy a house.
50% of all men under the age of 30 live with their parents. That's a big number.
I'd love to. I'm moving in with my mom. I'm moving down to New Prague.
I want to move in with your mom.
Yeah, mom or my mother-in-law, Sue, Jim and Sue, loved living with them. Hey, before the break here, just real quick, Kieran Houlihan has a nice listing, Mike. This one is 3108 10th Avenue South in Minneapolis, $349,900. It's an oversized 2-story, nearly 3,000 square feet. It's beautifully refreshed, new paint, hardwood floors, updated kitchen, electrical, lots of major updates. Got a new furnace in 2026, roof siding, gutters. You got bonus spaces, 2-car garage, room to live, work, and grow, and it steps to Powderhorn Park, 100 yards, Kieran says, to trails and the lake and community events. So check that one out, 3108 10th Avenue South for $349,900. Not very nice listing. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Charlie, what do you think, bud? We don't mean to dominate the conversation there. Share some deep thoughts with us.
I've been kind of reading through some of the first-time home buyer, approaches that we have, and one of the things that, people are sitting on the sidelines waiting for is to come up, be ready financially to get out of that rental and get into a new purchase.
Right.
Minnesota Housing just actually upped their income limits for 1 to 2 person for the deferred program up to 94.6. So it used to be it went up like $6,000. So I actually kind of changed a couple of the files that I'm working on right now where people were between that $90,000 and $96,000, and now they qualify.
So, yeah. Do you guys do a lot of first-time buyer stuff like that?
Yeah, I do a fair amount of it.
Yeah.
I know Charlie does.
Yeah.
For sure.
As I say, we got to speak up.
Speak up.
Speak up a little bit.
Is that what it said?
I just got a text.
I just got a text.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you speak up.
I'm speaking up. Hi, folks. Everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Minnesota Real Estate Show.
So here's the fun thing is our mic is actually on the computer. Now it used to sometimes when we have it on there, it's harder for people to hear. So our mic is actually right on the computer.
I did not know.
There you go.
Well, you might want to clue. I'm only on the show. You might want to clue me in on that.
Yeah,
I'm still talking to this.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You don't need a mic.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah, you don't need a mic. Yeah, speak up a little bit. Thank you.
Everyone needs a mic.
Everyone needs a mic.
Yeah, and good
Everyone
morning,
needs-
everybody.
You guys are lucky you got a mic.
Yeah, we need a mic. You need a mic.
on your side. Hey, Scott, what
He's talking about him.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's the mic that everybody
Speak very quietly and softly.
We're all lucky to have a mic.
What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say,
Sorry, go ahead.
How did that that file that we spoke about the other day?
Oh
that's
yeah,
good.
this is a good one we just talked about on air as well. So I won't say the address because it's currently happening, but a conventional loan, 20% down,
Okay.
Minneapolis house,
Mm.
and we get the appraisal back. Value's fine, everything's fine. However, we want to see a lead-based paint inspection. Now I've been an agent for 30 years. I have never had a lead-based paint. I wouldn't even know. I mean, I'm learning because I have to get one done. But it was called a lead-based paint inspection. Also, they want to have an engineer look at the entire house for any foundation problems because the appraiser said there are some cracks in the floor. Doesn't seem to be a health and safety issue or any concern.
Where's the crib?
It's in Minneapolis.
Oh.
And so this is what's written. And now we get these stipulations from the underwriter that we have to do
Oh, wow.
we have to do an engineering report. Oh, you're bored, I can tell. Oh gosh, really? Oh, that's thrilling, Scott. Yeah.
But-
oh god, an engineering report? Woo! That's fun stuff.
Steve, what do you think about that when you hear that?
You know, there's requirements coming back after appraisal or insurance. I get a lot of clients after I get an inspection done asking me for all the photos from the roof. You know, so there's just, it's complicated right now to be buying a house, and you really need a good agent to pull you through it all.
Here we go, guys. We're going back live on air. Quick break. Thanks for joining us on social media. We will speak up.
We will speak up.
Welcome back to the second half of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. You're welcome to join us at any point. 612-294-6949 is how you can interrupt us at any point. Questions, comments, thoughts, anything Minnesota real estate related. We are always happy to help. That comes to us during the show. Throughout the week, you can call that as well. That comes right into our office. Scott and Mike and team, before we dive back in, David Meyer has one in St. Paul Park, 829 First Street for $375. This is a completely rehabbed home, 3-bed, 3-bath, 1-car garage, new roof and siding, new water heater, AC, electrical, plumbing, flooring, new windows. The floors have been reinforced, David said, for nice level feel. It's a turnkey home, and it is just 2 blocks to Lions Levy Park, Willie's Restaurant and the Mississippi River. 829 First Street in St. Paul Park, $375, totally renovated. And then one other one, Scott, Jack Dickinson has one for $565. Address is 11460 Fairfield Road West, number 103. This has a great floor plan with a den. That's perfect for a home office, reading room or hobby space, updated kitchen appliances, in-unit laundry, heated underground parking for, of course, those Minnesota winters. And it's minutes from shopping, dining, golf courses, access to I-394. It's a main level condo in one of Minnetonka's most desirable locations, 11460 Fairfield Road West, number 103.
Very, very nice. And level floors in a house are very important.
Level floors,
Level
it
floors.
is.
You gotta have that.
It is. Hey, Steve Stalock, Win Home Inspection, has been kindly waiting while we were talking the whole time. We got him for an hour here. We finally got him away from doing a home inspection. That's all you do, Steve. When do you sleep?
Well, sleep is overrated.
Yes.
Way overrated.
Yes, it is. Tell us what's new from a home inspection standpoint.
Well, same old stuff. What's not new is, how homeowners are really the last to know what kind of things are falling apart in their own homes. So if you're getting ready to put your house on the market, maybe get it pre-inspected to find out. Right now, a lot of air conditioners are really struggling. This hot, humid air is making it really difficult. So every homeowner, you might want to have it serviced just proactively. Get that outside unit cleaned up. Air conditioning, did you know it doesn't create cold air?
I did not know that.
Tell me more.
It's removing heat and humidity, and the leftover byproduct is cold air.
Wow.
So that little unit outside your house is trying to pump out all that warm air that's inside the house. And if your outside condenser is all dirty, it's going to have trouble dissipating the heat. So that's got to get cleaned up.
Huh, I never knew that. So say that again. What happens to the air?
Well, you're pushing refrigerant through a bunch of copper pipes, and what's going on is it's absorbing the heat. Above your furnace, you have an A coil, and that A coil is absorbing heat as you're forcing air around it.
And the extra is just cold air.
Well, what's left over as the air passes over that, because they're absorbing all the heat from the house, cold air goes up into the house.
Huh.
So it's just physics.
Wow.
Yeah.
Steve, you have an
Science.
engineering background. Is that right?
Yes, I do.
What did you study back in the day?
I have a degree in electrical engineering.
Yes.
Primary focus was on motors and radio transmission.
Yeah, Steve is. I never asked, how did you ever meet Mr. Scott Wolmering back in the day when we were both living south of the river? And How'd you guys meet?
I think when I was just starting out, my way to build business was hit every open house. And when there's no one in the house, race in there, say, hi, I'm a great guy. Here's my card, call me. So it just, you get on the ground and you have to build a relationship. And I think that's where
That's
I
exactly-
ran into Scott.
Well, exactly. And I used to use an inspector that a lot of people will know. He was an excellent inspector, and I had used him. And unfortunately, I had a little bit of an issue with one of the inspections he did. And Steve just happened to walk in the day where I was not particularly happy, and it's been a marriage ever since.
Steve, what did you think of Scott?
That had to be about 50 years ago. I really don't remember.
He thought, well, he's young and small.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, open house, because I did a lot of open houses. Holy man.
You did.
Oh my God.
It's funny. A lot of people think, again, for fellow agents listening, there's all sorts of schools of thought you think about of getting business. The open house is a wonderful way to meet other humans who are interested in real estate,
I mean, they're
even to this day.
Well, they're walking in with a sign that says, I'm going to buy a house. I'm either going to buy it from you, or if I don't like you, I'm going to buy it from somebody else down the road. And so, yeah, my first year, 75% of the homes I sold all came from open houses.
Yeah, it is. And it's hard because it's probably like any type of work. You go there on the weekend or whatever, you may sit there for 2 hours and meet nobody, and then you go do another one and maybe one person comes in, so it's kind of like anything, you eventually, when you do enough of them over time, again, you're just trying to help people who are interested in looking at real estate. Yeah.
Well, and the other reason, I was just thinking about some of the other reasons I went with Steve, and what makes Steve so good is not only does he, for the most, no one's perfect. You're going to miss things in inspection, but he hits everything in the inspection. He takes a very, very long time, and he likes to have the buyers at the inspection with him. And for me, that's really important, because not only are you looking for stuff, but it's also a teaching. You teach the buyers what's going on in the house.
That's
In
a
real
really
time.
big point. And what happens a lot when you're going to go buy a house, you have a showing and you race through it because maybe, there's going to be other offers and you're in the house 15 minutes. Let's go write an offer. And then, I'll have the buyer show up at the inspection. I need to walk around. I need to make measurements. I don't remember this house,
Yes.
because they were only in it for 15 minutes. Well, now I have an inspection. And I schedule for 4 hours. It might take me 3 hours to inspect, but I take an hour of going through my findings, teaching, answering questions. I do not rush anyone through it. So the more they're there, if they can at all invest the time, and a lot of people can't, so at least show up for the last half hour of that last half of the inspection, and under a relaxed, no time crunch, be there, get a feel for the house again. I didn't even notice that room is tan or pink or whatever. So now you're in a relaxed state, absorbing information and learning about the house. My whole goal, as I tell people, is that the day you close and you get the keys, I want you to be so knowledgeable that you feel like you've been living in the house for the last 10 years, because I promise you know more about this house than the homeowners.
A question that just came in for Steve is, what is one of the biggest things that you see recurring in a home inspection? Well, and I'll add to that causes the most problems. Like, what do you think?
Well, I don't get to see the negotiation side. So, in terms of a problem, I really don't know what's causing a whole lot of grief down the road. I am seeing, actually, throughout the Twin Cities, we have a lot of newer roofs. Storms have, caused a lot of people to have their roofs replaced. But still seeing, because that's not something as a homeowner you would walk and can't see. I see a lot of damage up on rooftops, clearly not visible from the road, so you got to get up there. And other deferred maintenance. You have a 20-year-old house and you haven't opened half the windows. Open every window and take a look for deterioration.
I mean, I would think that, at least from our perspective, that water of any kind, wherever it's coming from, is something that you want to find out that is either there or hopefully not there.
Lack of water management, no gutters, plug gutters, no downspout extensions.
Yep.
that just, I always say the two most powerful forces in the universe, time and water. And give water enough time, you're going to be creating a lot of damage.
And wives. Water, wives, yeah,
Time.
Yeah, I don't have that problem anymore.
Yeah, I think the education part is huge. You send a homeowner in there, especially a first-time home buyer, into a house and be like, hey, there's 3 filters to change, right? The air
Yeah.
exchanger, the furnace, and this. And they'd be like, look, what is that?
Yeah.
How do we know what that is?
And I also impress, especially on first-time home buyers, that, okay, the inspection's over, I got paid, I'm happy, and good luck with the house. But no, if it's information overload. What that home buyer just went through at my inspections, I can sometimes see the deer in the headlights. So it's like, get the report. If anything is not clear, you got my card. Reach back out. I don't even care if it's a year later. Take a photo of something on your phone, email it off, and say, Steve, what's going on here? Or you told me something really important, I don't remember. And it's a dumb question, and I don't want to ask my parents because they're just going to laugh at me. So send it my way.
Steve, before the break, how do people contact you, my friend?
Get your pen and paper. This is a landline phone. Do not text it. 952-891-4455. But by far the easiest way is to go on to the radio show website, mnrealestateshow.com. Really set up nice. You got preferred partners. Scroll down to home inspectors and look for that really handsome bald guy.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, we love Steve Stalock. Thank you, Steve. Thanks for coming on. Already the 3/4 point of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. 612-294-6949 is how you can reach us during the show or throughout the week. We'll be back after the break. Nice job, Steve.
Always fun.
Always good. Charlie, what do you think about when you hear all that home inspection stuff?
Well, I was really thinking about just home ownership inspections and the whole first-time home buyer process. I have a couple that I'm working with right now that we just got pre-approved that literally I was the 4th loan officer, and for like the first 40 minutes we spoke, I just really just talked to them about kind of where they were at in their whole education journey. Like, what do you know about the first-time home buyer process? And after we were done, the guy said, oh my gosh, nobody explained anything. And I obviously established that is this valuable to kind of go through this and understand this. And it feels like, people will go and apply and they'll just get a rate and get closing costs and then get a pre-approval and that's it, when there's actually so much to know about the process. There's so many different directions you can take from a first-time home buyer journey that it's good to have somebody that's in your corner that really stands and
Segment's
educates.
got to be pretty busy.
Yeah.
I have had in the past month, 2 agents, RE/MAX agents, reach out to me asking if I do, the tag-alongs during a showing.
Oh,
It's like, well, I haven't heard about that for a while, but that, they're running into that. They've got some first-time home buyers. They've already lost out on 6 offers. And they want to, hey, can you tag along for a showing so we can make a non-contingent offer?
do tag-alongs.
Yeah.
Scott used to do that with his showings.
Tag-alongs.
Have people tag along with you.
Yes, yeah, I love people to tag along.
Like a ride-along with the police officers?
That's right. Yeah,
You did a tag
I
along.
love
Scout cookies.
parents. What I like is first-time home buyers have their parents with. Those are great. Those are great. Because parents have no advice or anything like that. Yes.
You should have like the police have like a ride along with the police for a day. You should have that where someone could ride along with you.
You should.
For a
What if
day.
you created a feature?
Yeah.
That reminds me. Sorry, Charlie. That reminds me. So back in the day, you would have your buyers in your car with you.
They'd ride along.
Yeah, you pick them up at 10 in the morning. You go show 20 houses. They'd be in your car. I can't remember the last time I've had people get in my car because you're just going on a meeting for 1 house or 2 homes. The days, although we're going to be getting there, where you can now show 15, 20 homes.
Well,
in a
you did
day.
have one buyer a couple years ago.
He's still back on. I'm so bored about the engineering.
Hey, what were you
I'm
going to say,
so glad
Charlie?
We're not talking about the engineering.
What were you going to say, Charlie?
I am at an age where all of my kids are adults.
Yes,
And
they're
all
adults.
making choices.
Nice work,
they're all
Dad.
making decisions. When they're buying a house, if they will have me, I will be there. But I think that the agents out there, they just need to understand that that's coming from a place of care, a place of love. They want to protect their children. So I think, like for me, when I'm dealing with a couple that's kind of establishing a loan and mom and dad want to be involved on the financing,
Yeah.
and the couple say,
There we
yes,
go.
mom and dad can be involved. I want to understand and evaluate what's important to mom
Welcome
and dad
back.
too, because there's a lot of exposure out there.
Welcome back to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us. Our final segment, Miss Julie Harris has a nice one down in Red Wing, 4999 Chalet Court in Red Wing
Wrong way.
for $899. It is a stunning custom home. It's over 4,400 square feet, beautifully designed. It's spectacular bluff and valley views. So it's got a one-of-a-kind backdrop for multiple rooms, outdoor living areas, got a very open concept, abundant natural light, a spacious primary suite. This is an ideal home for entertaining, expansive gathering spaces, lots of updates. Again, it's located in Red Wing on a very desirable neighborhood, close to golf, hiking trails, downtown amenities, and the scenic Mississippi River. 4999 Chalet Court in Red Wing, Scott. That's a beautiful one.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, Red Wing's beautiful in itself. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, we were talking about ride-alongs with agents, with buyers, bringing along family members or others, and people where you would go show houses and you'd be in the car together with people. And I think of agents who would always like that, to be able to talk with their clients. Some people who didn't like that. And now it seems like it never happens.
No.
Nobody rides together anymore. What's up with that?
Yeah, you're meeting for onesie twosies, because you got to remember, we've had no homes on the market. So a new home comes on the market, you jump in your car, you meet them there, you show that home. Now with us getting to a balanced market, we're going to start seeing, hey, let's go out on Saturday and look at 10 homes again, where you haven't even been able to do that. So I don't know whether that will change the fact that we're going to meet and get in the car again, but that is the way we used to do it in the old days, and has not been done for a long, long, long time.
Actually, when I was a buyer, pre-agent, I rode along with you, Scott. We
did.
rode along, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I had you in the trunk. Just so you could hear, so you could hear, but not actually talk. But no, the parents thing.
Parents.
Really quick story. So 100 years ago, first time home buyer. She was left millions and millions of dollars by her grandfather, and I won't say who that was, but the dad was in control of it. He was a farmer from Iowa. Showed him 50 homes. She was very, very, I got to buy the right house. It can't be too expensive. So we looked at literally 50 homes. And the one we found stuck out like a sore. I mean, it was the best deal ever.
Very nice.
They got it, but it was a little bit more. So Steve did the inspection. Actually, in the inspection, the dad was up from Iowa.
Yeah.
And he just kept saying, oh, this is way overpriced, Scott. I can't believe you did this. Da, 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 da. And so finally I said, how did you become such an expert from Iowa on the Minneapolis market? I said, because your daughter looked at 40 homes or 50 homes and then decided that this one was a great value. So where did you come in with your, and of course he knows what I'm saying. And he was, well, I just, in Iowa, this would be like 200. I'm like, yeah, we're not in Iowa, Dad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just like, I just couldn't, and again, like Charlie's saying at the break, he's there to help, but you're not helping, basically telling your daughter that she doesn't know what she's doing.
Well, but you're an agent. You're just trying to make a commission.
Correct. That's exactly. Well, the thing is, though, that we've talked about this on the show. If you're dealing with an agent that you're going to work with, the agent knows they're selling you a house. So I'm not trying to sell her a house. I know I'm going to sell her a house. I want to sell her the right one. So anyways, it's the way parents are. I would be that way as too. You're looking for everything. You want to give advice to your kids, and that all makes sense. But sometimes it's better just to not speak.
Mike, take us home, bud. We only got a few minutes left. What do you got from Luminate Bank to share with folks?
So Luminate Bank, local bank here. If you like that local small town bank feel, we're definitely the fit for you. We are offering up to $1,000 off closing costs for anyone who opens up a checking or savings account with us. So if you open an account, slide 2,500 or more in there, we'll give you $400 off closing costs. If you move over 100 grand or more, we'll give you 1,000 off closing costs. And the best thing about that whole thing is that the APY that we're paying out in our just standard daily checking account is 2.02%. And our standard savings account is paying out 3.5% right now. So I would encourage everyone who is is bank savvy. Go look at your latest statement in your checking and savings account. See what type of interest they're paying out. It's going to be nowhere close to 2% on a checking and 3.5% on a savings.
Yeah.
And you guys have been doing that for a while. This is not just like a quick blip, summer special or something. And again, we've worked with Luminate Bank for, I don't know, 10, 15 years. So, I mean, this is something you guys have been doing for a while, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's been there for a while, and we've been above 3.5% on our savings account. I mean, since I can't even remember how long it's been. So it's a great deal. No minimum balance or anything like that to have in those accounts. So if you're interested, reach out to us. We can get you in touch with one of our bankers and fill you in with more info.
Charlie, what do you have for us, bud? I know it's been a full house today. You do a wonderful job working with Mike and the team. You are a great loan officer, but a wonderful father as well. What do you have for us, bud? Any last thoughts to take us home?
Yes, I think that if you're a home buyer and you're just wondering if now's the right time, reach out to somebody that's in your corner. Have them assist you in understanding your financial scenario and determine if now is the right time. I mean, often people will be sitting waiting to save up money for down payment when there's actually potential money out there or ways to approach your loan that would obviously get you into that home sooner and in the end cost you much less.
I got to do one quick shout out before we leave here. One quick shout out to my son's flag football team. They're one of the top 32 flag football teams at their age group in the country. We go to Indianapolis next weekend for the national championships out there. So myself and one of the other dads coaches the team. So we're bringing 6 9-year-olds out there for the flag football national championships. If you're watching ESPN, it's going to be on ESPN too. So you might see us on TV next weekend. We play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it'll be interesting to see if we run the table. But good luck to the Chosen Frozen. That's our team name out there, and we're representing Minnesota and the Minnesota Vikings in that national championship.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention before we leave, and we've talked about this a lot, but this is real, folks. I mean, we've been adding 400 or 500 homes to the market every week. If that continues, and I'm not saying it's going to, but if it continues, we are going to see a resetting of prices going into this next year. So if you are an individual that is making a major life change in the next couple of years and your home is your biggest asset, right now you should give us a call and look at actually selling this. Because again, like Mike says, I think we're going to get a bump in the fall. In my opinion, you do not want to wait around for a couple of years.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We appreciate it. It's been a fun show. Quick shout out, my sister-in-law, Amy O'Neill. Happy birthday, Aim. Hope you're having a great day with Thomas and the girls. And again, thank you everyone for listening to the Minnesota Real Estate Show today. It was a full house, but we appreciate you listening. And thanks to Candace as well for her help. Enjoy the weekend, everybody, and stay cool. Hey, thanks everybody. That went by fast, guys.
That was fast.
That was fast. Steve, what do you think, bud?
I think I need to get to work.
Charlie, would you
Grad
be one of
parties.
those dads who would be supportive of your
Oh,
kids,
absolutely.
or would you be on that
thorn
side?
in Scott's side.
A thorn in
Would you
my
be a
side.
thorn in his
Would you
side?
be a thorn?
No, Scott and I would have a dialogue first. I would help my child best choose their real estate agent. So if Scott's in the room, then he needs to be.
Okay. That is interesting, though. You think of that being protective.
Yeah, and it's normal, and and he took it gracefully, but he got hit. I mean, he knew what he was doing, so he
Yeah.
kind of caught himself. Like, yeah, what am I doing?
Had he
I
been
don't-
studying the market, though?
No, it was just a reaction. And I think when he kind of caught himself, he's like, okay, that makes sense.
The one thing I love about you, Scott, is you'll actually say that. I think about that as realtors listening. How many of us would actually say, well, help me understand.
How did you become such an
Well,
expert?
How did you become an expert?
Well, the reason I was so protective of it is she was so diligent to make sure that she was doing the respectful choice and the right choice.
Yeah.
And so for him to come up and just kind of poo-poo her,
Discount it,
yeah,
yeah,
it made me irritated.
Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Good job, guys. Nice
Yes, you
work.
too.
Nice work. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll be back next week, July the 25th. Stay cool. Enjoy this weekend. Thanks for listening to the Minnesota Real